lecture on I-24 News. I'm Oded Grover. Thank you so much for joining me. Today on our show, we'll talk to the organizer of the Whiskey Live event in Tel Aviv. Visit Yemen's first film theater. And we'll take a look at world music and fashion. Whiskey, also known as the water of life, has many fans around the world, and some of them are coming to Tel Aviv this week for Whiskey Live, an event dedicated to this beloved beverage. It will include lectures, workshops, and, of course, tastings. And, with me in the studio to tell us all about it is one of the event's organizers, Nativ Zimet. Thanks for coming in, Nativ.
Thanks, Oded.
So tell me a little bit about Whiskey Live. What can we expect there? So
let's start with the technical details. We're talking about the event is between 24th of March to the 26th. It's going to take place at Meirov Gallery, in Tel Aviv,
right?
Tel Aviv, Dovnov 8. And the hours is going to be between 2 o'clock until 10:30 at night each day.
So you can start early.
Yeah, you can start early and until late at night. That's for sure. But
at what point do the visitors get intoxicated?
It's really
2:05, 2:10,
something like that. It's really interesting to see the people at 2 o'clock, and then at 8 o'clock, the cheeks are starting to become really, really red.
Yeah,
and it's quite funny. But it's a very professional kind of event. All the distributors, all the retailers, all the importers are bringing all their brands. Whatever is coming to Israel in the past years, new kinds of brands, new labels, and we have a lot
some whiskey experts from
yes,
all around the world,
master distilleries and whiskey ambassadors from all over the world are coming to show display
their stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'm curious. Let's make it personal for a second, because how did you get to the point where you decided you want to make whiskey your profession?
Actually, I was a bartender like a lot of people in Israel. I'm talking about 16 years ago. And then I was at a point where, I had all kinds of ideas what to do. And the best option was to drink whiskey, I think there's nothing better than that, than to go around the world and to talk about whiskey, and mostly to drink about whiskey.
Why whiskey? I mean, there are a lot of other beverages that you can drink and enjoy.
There's something special between old and new. There's something very classical about whiskey, but something that's reinventing itself all the time. It's not like a drink that you have a couple of kinds and that's it. It's always reinventing. There's always new things, and I learn every day, every single day.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what is new in the world of whiskey. What are the latest trends with whiskey?
Well, again, like most of the distilleries, they have to reinvent themselves. With 2015, they have to always bring new things, new kinds of, so the people will make more and more interest. First of all, we're talking about new world whiskey today.
Okay.
We can see once it was the classical countries were United States, Scotland, and Ireland. Today we can find whiskey in Germany, in Sweden, in Japan, which is the most famous new world whiskey. Right. And it's been evolving all around the world. But if we're going to be more practical, in the past year in Israel, we can see more and more honey whiskey, which is something that is quite new. And actually,
there is an Israeli distillery now playing this game.
You're right.
Where do we stand?
Okay, it's really new. It's right here. Let's say a couple of blocks from this studio
in Jaffa.
Yeah, it's called the Mickelhan Distillery. It's something grand. It's something that's happening right in these days, right on the past few days. And hopefully in a couple of years we'll have
a bottle to taste.
And our own Israeli whiskey. And it's not something like in the garage. It's something very, very, very professional that's going to happen.
Very cool.
Yeah, and they're going to display their thing. They're starting to display in the Whiskey Live.
All right. What's your favorite whiskey?
I can't tell you. Come on.
You don't have a favorite whiskey?
I'll say Middleton. That's my favorite. It's an Irish whiskey that I have a memory for like 15 years ago, and I can't just take it out of my mind. I just love this whiskey, but it's really expensive. Okay.
All right. So you're saying there's a distillery now in Jaffa. There are distilleries pretty much everywhere. You're saying Japan. You're saying Germany. What are the conditions required to make a good whiskey?
Well, first of all, you need, of course, good material, which one of the materials is actually water. And that's why Scotland and Ireland are considered such a famous, they have lots of water, such famous countries for whiskey. Of course, you need the equipment, you need distillery pots, and you need barrels, which is a lot of money, of course. You need the knowledge. We're talking about fermentation, we're talking about distillation. It's a lot of chemistry. Okay. It's not everybody can do whiskey. It's something very, very professional. A master distiller, it takes him around 10 years to learn, only to start to distill himself. Of course, in the big distilleries around the world. And of course, you need passion. That's, I think, like everything, the most important thing.
And patience, if I understand correctly. I mean, if there's a distillery that opened now, but we're going to have to wait a few years to taste its product.
I can't tell you exactly how many years, but of course, in most cases, it's 3 years at least.
I see. Any tips for maybe a beginning whiskey enthusiast?
Just come to the festival, and tomorrow, in the next few days, you'll find everything you need to know. That's the most important thing.
All right, Whiskey Live, Tel Aviv 2015. Nativ, thanks so much for coming.
Thank you for inviting me.
Now to Yemen. Hurricane was the first film theater of the Arabian Peninsula, built in the former colony of Aden, which was ruled by the British from the 1930s to the 60s. Unfortunately, its glory days seem to be behind it, but this open-air theater manages just barely to remain open. Daniel Campos takes a look at what keeps this theater alive.
Welcome to Aden's Hurricane Cinema, a one-of-a-kind in Yemen. It may offer just one screening a day, but this British colonial-era cinema is a stronghold for freedom of cinematic entertainment. Communism, civil war, censorship, and Al-Qaeda. The cinema has survived it all.
The reason why many people stopped going to the movies is the 1994 war, which was followed by fatwas banning cinema. Many families no longer went to the movies out of fear, even though Aden was a hub for cinema and theater.
Gone are the days when attending the cinema was an important event where women and men dressed up as if they were going to a party. The once packed cinema only has 10 to 15 customers a day who pay 150 Yemeni royals, less than $1, just to watch movies from a DVD and a projector.
Television has dealt a fatal blow to cinema. Now that every household has a television, movie theaters are dead.
But box office gold is not what keeps this old cinema alive. It is standing thanks to this handful of aging loyal clients who continue to attend the screenings every evening except Saturdays.
Even with television, I still like going to the movies. It gets me to interact with people and helps me kill time.
Threats against the cinema owners by extremists and also by speculators who wish to take over the land are constant. If they succeed, this would represent a tragedy for this handful of regular patrons. Old movie reels are now rotting in the warehouse, replaced by videos and a digital projector. But the Hurricane's audience remains largely unchanged. The screenings continue. All that matters to them is that the cinema is still there at all.
Blazing signs, flashing lights, and non-stop pinging lure scores of tourists in Budapest to Europe's largest pinball museum, where a Hungarian collector wants to revive the once popular pastime. Let's take a look.
For just €8, visitors to Europe's largest pinball museum can enjoy a full day of unlimited play. Hungarian collector Balázs Pálffy created this pinball haven that has become one of Budapest's top attractions. Pálffy has been a fan of the game since he was a young boy and hopes to save the game from extinction.
Pinball machines started to disappear in Hungary in the early 90s. Out of the 20,000 machines you would find in the mid-90s, nowadays you're lucky to find 300 in bars, pubs and other places.
He started to collect pinball machines, or flippers as they're known in Hungary, 6 years ago on an auction website, and now has over 140 of them exhibited here. The museum was an instant success since opening last year and receives around 400 visitors per week. Pálffy's collection includes rarities that he has collected from 16 different countries, including Belgium, France and the United States.
This is a children's game that dates from 1871. It can be considered the first pinball game. The innovation is the release handle, as you can see. The word pin refers to the little pins, and the balls cross each other.
The pinball machines are difficult to repair, so Palfi converted a section of the museum into a small workshop where machines taken out of service are given a new lease on life.
There are these sensors which are pushed by the balls, which sends a signal to the panel that's on this side, which in turn sends a signal to the sound panel, which triggers the sound of the machine. Then information is sent to the display panel, which tells me how many points I won by pressing down that sensor.
The price of a flipper can range between €500 to 10,000 for rare versions, an expensive passion for collectors, but for casual gamers, the retro hobby is still a relatively cheap form of entertainment.
In a moment, we'll hear about some fashionable world music artists, but first, our cultural recommendation for the day.
Alexander McQueen, one of the most iconic artists of the beginning of the century, committed suicide in 2010. Today his work is highly celebrated. Savage Beauty is the best way to pay tribute to the late artist. This retrospective at the Victoria and Albert Museum, previously displayed at the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York, is an outstanding set of designs that tracks the impressive career of the gifted fashion designer, from his graduation collection in 1992 until the unfinished in 2010, with his sense of a new romance and its revolutionary cuts. The spirit of the icon is back in London at this exhibition.
And now Daniel Campos is joining me in the studio. Hi, Daniel.
Hello, Dad.
We're going to be talking about something that was lacking in world music, right? And you're saying that they finally caught up.
Yeah, they caught up, and maybe it has to do with the cost of producing a video clip is a bit cheaper today. That may be one of the reasons. But they're doing it in their own way. It's very special and still unique.
We're talking about fashion. We're talking about their awareness of how things seem and how important this is to...
Like you said, the aesthetics, in their own way,
and
related to their own cultures.
For us, right?
Yeah, maybe we can start out by watching the first one. From Mali's Songhai Blues.
Here it is. So it's like Malian hipsters or something, right?
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, you can see they're using their own textiles, famous textiles from West Africa, and displaying them in their music video in a very hip, cool approach, just like you would expect any Western, music video from Brooklyn
Right. Yeah, and they're taking what sets them apart, which is these textiles and those colors, and they're using it for their advantage.
Yeah, and let's have a look at another example. Al-Sarah and the Nuvatons. Al-Sarah is from Sudan, a very cool hipster chick, very talented. And I also dig the aesthetics she chooses for her music videos.
Let's take a look. So I'm gonna guess that's not her.
No, that's Kai Cesar from Afghanistan. That's his music video revolutions. Also, he chooses a very interesting sense of fashion. You know, the way he selects the traditional garbs and also mixes it up with a more Western touch. We can now maybe have a look at the one I'm telling you, Al-Sarah and the Nubatons, the cool hipster girl from Sudan.
Let's just a taste.
Yeah, Habibi is the name of the song.
Ya Habibi. Looks very cool. Thanks so much, Daniel.
Thank you.
We're done. Thanks so much. Join us again tomorrow, please.